Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another episode of Hearts of Iron 4 as Germany with the ultimate tech tree mod. The year is currently 1953. It is sloggy, choppy, surely. However, oh my goodness. Things are going down. Things are going down. We are successfully invading with little to no issue. Sinking navies. And by navies, I mean their entire navy. Catholic Mexico at one point had 45 ships. They now have 4 to 6. The US now only has 75, approximately. And most of them are battleships, which is slightly concerning. Battleships and carriers. And then quite a few destroyers, but they don't count too much. Because that's most of what we're sinking, actually. What else do we got here? 2 destroyers. And that's just a convoy. So another Mexican's destroyer. Any more? You got this one. They lost a convoy. Nice. Alright. We are producing the wrong ships, apparently. And that is fine for now. We are currently making assault rifles with, what, level 3 or level 4? Mechanized? Why is mechanized up here? Usually it's in here. Nope, I lied. Yeah. Mechanized with a bunch of infantry or support equipment. A bunch of artillery is being made. Yeah. Making sure we had enough to justify that. Yeah, 54 truck. Or steady train, yep. Proved anti-air. Yeah. Making a bunch of everything. A bunch of free factories. But that is fine for the time being. We've switched over, for the most part, to modern battle tanks. We are still making medium tanks. Because, which ones? The SS use medium tanks. For some reason. Although ours are mostly better, to be fairly honest. We can check that out, as a matter of fact. I just realized we can check out everything compared to this tank. And so, both of the Polish tanks, better hard attack and better piercing, but way worse soft attack and nothing compared to this. Like, absolutely nothing compared to this. It doesn't even have enough piercing to pierce. Most people went for a heavy piercing. The AI either goes for piercing or soft attack, and that's it. It will actually specialize their tanks, but the problem is they try to diversify a lot. Yeah, these are just medium tanks. The Italians, what the Italians are trying to use, the Swedish are trying to use. It's really just bad. They're really bad tanks, actually. Matilda? A lot of piercing, but that's about it. Yeah. Oh, the Cromwell. With that much piercing, it actually might be worth it. These tanks are really bad tanks compared to this tank. Our allies aren't even rolling up with anything really good. Everybody's kind of going with the same gun for the looks of it. Except for the Russians. This is actually a pretty good tank. This isn't bad. Except for that piercing. Piercing's not terrible, but it's not amazing either. Oh, that's a good tank. The Su-100? That is a really good tank. The Cromwell. That's an alright tank. That's a pretty good tank. This is alright. With piercing and the good armor, it's alright. That's not too bad. It's a modern battle tank. You need to get up into the modern battle tanks to actually get to our level. Which is interesting. T-34 is not bad. KV-1. More armor than a KV-1? That's kind of crazy. Way more speed, too. It's a heavy tank. It's not very heavy, is it, anymore, isn't it? I wanted to see what were... There we go. What are you guys using? Has more piercing, more armor, no soft attack. Alright. Little breakthrough compared to us. It's got an okay defense. Slower, more reliable. Uses a little bit less supplies, less fuel. Doesn't have any entrenchment or any fuel usage. So yeah. Let's see, what do our tanks have for entrenchment? Nice. Plus 11.2. Max 37. I like entrenchment. None of these tanks are getting up. Takes 9 days to be fully entrenched because we have just so much defenses that we can use. That's right, these guys are, yeah. So let's see. We have a war goal to use against who? Romania? Yeah. It expires in a couple of years. Do I really, really want to go against Romania after all they've done for us? No, they're holding it down. They are really holding it down in a lot of places. They've pushed up in Mongolia for us. We keep on slogging down here, but we honestly just want to bleed the Japanese. Because eventually we have to go to the island, and we want them to have as little available for the island defense as possible. And you do that by not crushing them in China, but making them bleed. Which is kind of horrific to say out loud, but it must be done. It must be done. Okay. Free military factories, free dockyards. We did design we did have two brand new designs come out. Yeah. Battleship Hull A. Super Heavy Battleship Hull B. What is better about you? I don't know what's better about you, so I'm just not going to. Oh, equipment comparison. the middle class. We can compare it to everything everybody else has, but honestly, it's not even going to be challenged. This is what I want to see. Depth challenges, destroyers, cruisers. Let's see what these cruisers like. Very, very bad. Alright, never mind. Very bad. They do have their own heavy battleships. It has more heavy attack than us, by a little bit. It's very slow compared to us. It's low organization. No light attack to speak of. A lot of piercing. The same amount of armor. Way less anti-air. So we will actually be able to crush it. In not a 1v1 battle, it would be pretty even. But we would be able to crush it with our planes, which are practically everywhere, to be fairly honest. Yeah, okay. What else are we producing inside of date? Super heavy battleship. We don't care about that. We do care about... What else was it trying to sell us? This. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why we have this one going is because this one is getting rid of the improved anti-tank, the advanced anti-tank, and all of that, and converting that over to the 8.8, and then this stuff can convert the 8.8, but it can't convert anything else lower than that. So this guy's going to be working pretty hard until they get rid of all the improved anti-tank. And I don't need to do that with this, because this can get rid of... I think I just lied to myself. Nope, I didn't. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Keep that. There's no way we have negative 15 units. Okay, I was about to say... I was about to say, because we have over 200,000 just STG-44s. Imagine if Germany in real life had 250,000. They would not lose the war. That'd be a very bad world to live in. Very poor world to live in. But it's kind of funny that we're doing it right now. With way too much equipment in store. This is pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. This is why we're not producing as much stuff, and this is why we're actually not losing too many materials. This is mostly from tanks. Using all of these is mostly from tanks, and some of it is exported. We are trading less than what we are exporting, which is actually a pretty good sign. It means we have most things under control. Let's go ahead and check out what's else. Chromium from Portugal. Portugal. Give me that. You're lucky I don't actually need a whole lot. You don't trade with your puppets. It's not an excellent idea unless you're hurting for civilian factories. Where are you? Jan and Brandenburg, you don't know what to do with yourselves. Your life is empty. You have no purpose. Let me give you purpose. Let me give you purpose. Over here. You're supposed to be doing that. Quebec, is Quebec still under fire? Quebec is no longer under fire. Alright. Quebec is free. That being said, where is it? SPOIT. Select this one. Go here. Goodness gracious. You still need them in New England. I do want you on this eastern seaboard. Actually, we might... Far Eastern Indian... Oh. Doi. Alright. There. Because there's enemy planes in that area. Okay. It's Greenland. Greenland, my boys. What are y'all doing? Greenland. For the time being, go down to local police force until you're controlled. We are going to see to it that everyone here is assigned. Oh yes, you're a different story entirely, aren't you? Go ahead, fight. Fight! Yeah, we are running out of planes, not even gonna lie. And these ones are all going to Quebec, so I'll do it like that. I'll simply just ground that one. We even being fought out here? No. I don't even think Japan has the planes to mess around in the air. They have 100 here. So they have about 200. What is this? No Air Force, no Air Force. Fledgling Air Force. So that's 200 that we gotta keep. 300 fighters that we gotta keep. I mean, shoot. Who's being active over here? We don't need these planes active over here. That's for sure. 7 planes. We don't need 7 fighters in Mongolia. Instead, we can use these fighters somewhere like over here. Anyways, we won't have to worry about that too much because we are kind of crushing them right now without much resistance at all. You're out of fuel, you're running out of fuel. That's fine. You stay there. We don't want to overextend right now. You guys go ahead and just charge straight in. Sounds like a bad idea, but honestly, they're already on the retreat. You only allowed to attack this one? Yeah. Well, then in that case, attack it. Y'all can stay there for the time being. There's a lot of stuff going on. All at once, too. Manage subjects. Alash order. I will do that later. Yup. So, I know Japan already is. But, yeah, no. So, yeah, they still have a very good Air Force. The only thing is they can't actually put all of those in the air at once. Small fleet. Sizable army. No convoys to speak of. They do have their own fuel, but I'm pretty sure once we get rid of their convoys, they won't actually be able to get that fuel anymore. From how that works, or it's supposed to work. That's a nuclear power plant. We are so lucky we just flippin' conquered all of this place. Work harder. Work a bit harder for now because I just realized these guys totally might have nukes. Like, that is a very real possibility right now. We own this airfield. Operating completely behind enemy lines, eh? Overran a lot of soldiers there. Cut them down. Give them no reprieve. Dude, they know not what to do. Oh yeah. Get rid of them. That a land bridge? Cut right straight through that. Matter of fact, you cut around back there. Yeah, I think not. We gonna get rid of that real quick. Don't worry about that. Stay over there. So our allies more or less just hold the line while we just conquer everything. New Jersey is a state, and it is gone. Newark is more like right here, and it's more or less kind of part of, it's unofficially part of New York City. And I say unofficially because it's literally just like across the water. Like, it's the same distance as like Manhattan from Staten Island, if I'm not mistaken. This is technically across the state line. Enemy has aerial superiority. That kind of makes sense, you know, with them being over there and us like not being over there. We have 300 fighters active. Get them down to here and down to here. They're not in New England. They are still very much so in New England and Eastern Canada. We're losing fighters every day. Iwo Jima. Oh yeah, that's right. We are bombing them 2-0. We are no longer actually destroying a lot of stuff because we've already destroyed everything. Yeah, I think we already destroyed everything. Oh, not everything. Just most of everything. There's not much undestroyed right now. So we did nuke, like, everything. So, chances are, nobody's really getting off this island. Around here, cut that off real quick. Okay. Yeah. these... Oh, they're a special type of infantry. They might be able to actually push. See if y'all can just book it to Yan'an. I don't want to take forever in China. I just don't want to be too quick with China. Yeah. So we can crush just about everything around here. There we go. Dang. Go over here. We will keep them separated. I care not. How are you losing? Oh yeah, some of these guys can actually pierce stuff. Excuse me? Oh, we haven't moved everything up. Move up all the fighters real quick. I forgot how long range some of our stuff is. Yep, Shang-Chi. Bruh. Then take Nanjing. Cut to here. You can go where there's like no soldiers, you know that, right? You can go around the enemy. They won't even know what's going on. That's what we've been doing like this entire war right now. I don't know where you've been, man. We haven't even really been fighting too much. We've just been surrounding and popping them off. Do we need anything in here? Not really. No. 1855? No. Oh yeah, we can actually get these super early now. Ooh, do we want to get better of these? We can get really good. 212 days. I think I'll get the brand new submarine engine and hull. What's going on here? Battle of Iwo Jima? They lost a submarine. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. So as you can see, the Spanish are just hip-hopping around, you know? Japanese are struggling to control everything, while the Spanish hop around the islands, and we crush everything on the mainland. It's beautiful, honestly. There's nothing they can do about it. I think we're about to cut off most of their... Could you not? Could you instead do that? That'd be much more efficient of you. Cut through their airport, occupying everything through there. I don't know what you are, but you should be standing by, more or less. You should be occupying that. Should be moving down through here. Improved anti-air upgrade. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna work on our AA guns. I don't know if that's a better... No, it's not a better piercing. Yeah, go through there. You can. Go through there. Since you're already there like that. Let's say you come up like this. You come down like that. Yeah, you cut on around. Where's the third one? There. Come in here. Just occupying land. So that no one else has to be bothered with this. There you go. We don't have to waste 3 divisions on something that's not even being occupied. Not there. Up here. Goodness gracious. Alright. I completely forgot to check America. Because the Americans have fully deployed their Air Force. Mind you, they're losing heavily, as a third of our losses are simply due to airplane accidents in the air. That is pretty golden, if you ask me. Ah, yes, we've lost many, many men. Mostly due to air accidents, but we've lost a lot. Personally, throw 100 up here. Throw 100 there. Make sure everybody is on that. What is the 700? Quebec, Eastern Canada. Here. I don't care too much about Appalachia. East Coast, Eastern Canada, Quebec, Eastern Canada. Immediately just start putting the slap down on the air. I do kind of want to get rid of their Air Force because their Air Force is going to be pretty gnarly. Where is all of my tanks? Why are they deciding to starve instead of putting themselves in better positions? I don't understand. Why is nothing here using any type of trucks? Trucks save lives. Come on now. Yeah, we need to put in supply lines from the north to up here, and then drag some down through here. So we have so many factories. We're working on stuff all the way down here. We're working on like, oh, we're repairing stuff now. Alright. That's actually kind of a good sign. Five. Building up to level 2. There. Building up to level 2. What level is this one? Level 2? Bro, we don't care about that one. Your supply hub. Actual supply hub. So because you're an actual supply hub, hold that down. going to make all of these really high level because they're early supplies. Oh, there's still some people over here. Let me see. Yeah, hi. Why are all of you dilly-dallying on these people, bro? Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Handle them. Handle them. Handle them. So yeah, we have most of Canada's population under control. Most of Canada's power under control. Let me see. We want a tank. And these two as infantry. Blitzing down there. Blitz that over there. And then we can literally just have a tank unit move down. Is this what I think it is? This should be able to be traveled, but it might not be able to. We'll see. And he's dead. No? Surprisingly. They got there in time. Why? Oh, you're on the mission. Alright, cool. Congratulations, hold your position. Congratulations, hold your position. You did nothing. Well, then go ahead and hold up here. The supply situation definitely did change, huh? It went from nothing to something real quick. That's what I like to see. Personally, I think you all should first off have a battle line. We'll go towards the Mississippi. You can see just how many troops they're throwing over here. It's a lot of organization to keep in check of. A lot of organization. Yeah, we could kick all the ciphers if we wanted to. You know what we could do? Dang, not here. We can move up our planes. I was gonna do something pretty evil, I'm not even gonna lie. We no longer need anything in Quebec, as a matter of fact. Go to here instead. This is actively it's still really active in this region. They've turned it down a lot in New England. I think they're just trading areas. It's pretty even over here. I lied. I did not wait long enough. We are outnumbered everywhere, but we also drop a lot more of them than they of us. Ooh, we have supply that's deadly to them. Tanks that have supply are very deadly. Personally, I want you guys to move up through here. Ooh. Contingency divisions. Yep. That's how I see it. See if y'all can move down there too. Yep, there you go. There you go. You know what that is? How about you attack it, yeah? There you go. Y'all can go ahead and lose that city. Oh, 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 never mind. Hold on. There we go. It's 55 infantrymen all around right here. Love it. Let's see about cutting them off if we can. Right here. Right here. Don't mind if I do. The war crimes keep piling up. We can't afford to lose this war. Goodness gracious, 1.3 million. Let's just see, what have we done? Oh my god! Are we the baddies? Are we the good guys? The worst part about it is they're losing their populations, like one of their major population centers right now. So they don't even have population to chuck in here. Oh no. Whatever they lose, they can't replace. It doesn't matter what it is, they can't replace it. Because they don't have the men. However, I think they do, but they just haven't. Oh? Shall fail at your attack? Try again. We do indeed have a lot of breakthrough. We also have a lot of entrenchment, if I'm not mistaken. The modern tanks don't do any entrenchment? Come on, man. I do kind of want to... It's Vancouver, yeah, okay. Since we got most of them, I don't know where you're supposed to be. we're gonna kick yours. We might. I don't know how this is how this is gonna work. No, it's supposed to work. We can try it. What do they got left? A lot more. We could try just overrunning a bunch, so they'd be in a huge population deficit. We would be just getting rid of about 100 divisions there. Let's check over here real quick. Ah, nothing's changed. Wonderful. Airport, and then if you can, Qingdao. You just try to go straight for Qingdao. You're a bit slower. Everybody else, just wait along. Yep. Boom. Our supply is gonna be a bit crazy for a little bit. Yeah, we're waiting for some time, I guess. Means they're all reaching a bit more supply than usual. Alright, well. What are you? You're a tank. Go up here. Another card. 2 tanks. What are you doing? Clear up all that pocket. Crushing lives. We're going over here. Come on now. Immediately join the battle. They immediately surrender. Like, no, 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 no. I don't want no part of that. Nuke this. Tired of dealing with you. Tired of dealing with all of it. 0. That's cool. I don't think Mongolia can withstand any more of this. I don't think anyone has any planes anymore. Because if they're using planes, they're using them to defend the mainland. Yeah. At least trying to. Oh, that's funny. If we see this. All due to air accidents. Nice. All due to air accidents. Jeez Louise. We've just been leveling their buildings. That is actually really funny. I think they can still build them pretty fast right now, but I mean, not for long. No, what are you doing? Stop. Fudge. Get over there before they get there. Causing troubles and stuff. Yeah, you better run. You ain't gonna run there. You wanted this war. You're the one that called it. I didn't. I didn't want it. This is a pain in my butt. Moved up that line. Y'all are bored right now. Out of your minds. It's fine, though. Get the big I kind of want them to move up through here because this is going to be a slog if they have actual troops up here. But we should have enough openings to just be able to move around it. To be honest. It shouldn't even be a problem. We did that so quick. Move to this juncture real quick. We're just avoiding having to deal with these. We're treating our enemy like unwanted children. Just avoiding them. Not actually dealing with them. Why would you assign 4 to that one pocket, but only assign 4 to this pocket? You don't make any sense, AI. How's that equal? What about that is equal? Tianjin? After you take that, go up there. Do a little bit of sightseeing, you know? You in China. Enjoy yourself. Germans in China. You know, we just gonna have a little joyride through the countryside of China. We can probably do it with both of them. Where are we losing stuff at? I don't know, and I don't think I care. 155 trucks. Yeah, we don't care. Trains, we've lost 7. We have 6,000. We do not care. They are... No, that's us. Okay. I was about to say, they're using planes right on the front line. Kind of embarrassing to us. See if you guys can cut around there. I'm just gonna move around. Eastern Canada needs it, yeah. Like that. These 3 castings. We need to move like 2 of them. Down to here. Oh, one of them needs to move over here too. Most of the actual effort and work is going to be done by the bombers. That's perfectly fine. Because the tanks can make up for anything else. Let's see if we can move around here. Nice. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Keep stretching the line. There we go. There we go. That is it for them. That is it. That is it. What did we miss? Oh yeah. More AA guns. Better AA guns. We'll update them in a minute. We're busy slaughtering them. Let me see, they had like... Oh, I love it. Actually, hold on. Go to Cleveland. Oh, you can kill that. Who the heck said you guys could move? Get rid of that nuclear power plant. The Americans, we know what nukes are, America. We know what nuclear power plants are. What were you planning to do? What were you planning to do? How many units do they have left? We've killed a whole nother million. Oh, I think they've grown in the amount of units they have. Which is weird, considering they have the service by requirement out now, which is plus 20% training time, and minus 10 to all of their outputs. So this is basically like having 10% less factories all around. And they have way less stability, way less war support, which means they need to use a lot of factories for their civilians. Like, it's not doing so hot for them. It's not doing so hot for them. Everything that's in here? Everything that's in here. Can come down here. Go over here. What's over here? 500 planes? Is there even any more? Where are they all at? It's 2,000 here, 200 here, 600 there, 2,000. I think we should kind of divvy it up. Should send 2 of them here, 3 of them here. Now we have full superiority over here. Both sides have lost a lot. But I feel like they've lost a lot more than we have. Let's do a quick check on the Navy. Yeah, Navy's active. Both navies are pretty active right now. Wonder where they're going. They're trying to take out a single submarine. Alright, guys. You know it's not that serious, right? Spain is putting in work in the flipping... in the east, though. It's Eastern Sea. It's the Spanish Sea now. It's no longer the Eastern Sea, it's the Spanish Sea. Shoot, man. Let me see. Yeah. Got y'all working over here. Because the further the Spanish go, the better all of this does over here. Further these submarines can reach. Let me see. Yeah. Matter of fact, don't worry about that ocean anymore. Just these ones. Increases your ability to protect. Oh, did they land? They landed on the port. They landed on the port. Those lucky sons of guns. One more for the industry. We caught up real quick. 1952, 1955. Let's see here. What's going to be better? Construction speed, factory repair speed, production efficiency cap. Let's say this. This is free civilian factories. Well, first things first, let's check the supply. It's always something to check. Yeah, see, there we go. Goodness gracious. Come on now. Are these even being used anymore? I think they are. Let's see. How is supplies going down to here? Let's get a little bit more pull. Let's get a lot of pull through here. What is being used? This one. I don't know why that one's being used. That one up to 5. Going up to 5. Actually, I just thought of something. Oh yeah, that's right. We gonna build highways everywhere. You get an Autobahn. You get an Autobahn. Everyone gets an Autobahn. So make everything move. Aha, yeah, no, let's not. A lot more smoothly. As far as supplies and such go. Improve these roads everywhere. That was a lot, I'm sorry. That was a lot. Let me see. Sunk another submarine. Looks like they can't support their submarines, huh? Brought it all the way up here. Let me see. No resistance. No resistance. You still have fuel? You still have fuel. Cut the cord! Cut the cord! Cut the cord! Nobody has supply up here. In a world where no one has supply, we rule supreme. What, are you not connected? It's gonna take like one day. Mm. Just cut through it. Start slicing and dicing. You'll get there eventually. Come on. Don't take too long. Don't take too long. Come on. There it goes. Dang, what's wrong with you? Attack them. Hold on real quick. There we go. Now y'all can go to places that actually have supply. Yay. Yeah, we already know. Oh? Excuse me? You think that you can, have supply? Anyways. That's what I thought. You know better. Oh, that's gonna be terrible. They're gonna have no supply. Ever. Ever, ever. Forever, ever, ever. Oh, did they take... No, they didn't take Port. Honestly, take Dalian. Cut through, take Dalian. Take his king. Take his Shining Bay. No. Crumble. They were trying to make a flippin' modern tank. I have to push. I had to punish them. I had to. What makes you what makes you think you're allowed to have a modern battle tank in my possession? In your possession? What in your right mind makes you think that you're allowed to have that in your possession? It's a modern battle tank. It's fit for only us. Only the big boys. You're not allowed to have that. Give it back. Menguko crumbled. It's around 1 to 3 planes. Love to hear about it. Well, our allies are rushing to cover up for the fact that we just literally... Where are the rest of their flippin'... Where are the rest? Well, we can also see, yeah... Yeah... We can see that our allies have not been doing so great either against all of these various enemies. We've taken roughly we've taken about 1 million people. We've lost about 1 million people. I think Manchukuo is gonna crumble soon. Let's go ahead over here. Let's see what's going on real quick. Ah, yes. Yeah, that's a lot of tanks coming your way. I hope you have a way to deal with that, buddy. The more we get rid of, the less we have to deal with later. Don't quite think they know what to do about this situation. Because they've, instead of defending their homelands, they've decided to defend Canada. I don't think they realize just how dangerous a decision that is for themselves. Oh yeah, stay there real quick. Stay. You're not allowed to leave. Yeah, we've been trading in not very healthy numbers as far as not healthy for them, very healthy for us. 27 million to the Axis 7 million. That's pretty crazy. Oh yes, the Americans have trapped themselves. Typical American. Let's watch them. Oh, a lot of them were Chinese. There's no way. There's no way they are in any type of fighting shape right now. They have up to 263 divisions, down from their 301. That's like 40 less. They still have no flippin'. Oh, they are gaining manpower. They are somehow gaining manpower after that devastating loss. I mean, understand when you do get rid of and wipe out divisions, you're not going to see their manpower dip that much. Instead, they're going to try to build new divisions because you just literally wiped off their manpower. Like, it's not their manpower pool, but their actual combat ability. Oh yeah, I checked the Navy. I knew that this was a thing. Why didn't I fix it? Who knows? Whoever knows? More destroyers. Got enough to make a whole new fleet. These cruisers are gonna be pretty OP, by the way. Only one. Yeah, nobody can really contest our fleet anymore. I mean, they have been trying to. We've been losing a few submarines. But our submarine fleet is pretty hefty. What can you be upgraded to? Oh. Doy. No one else has to do that. I'm only doing it for that one ship. Because they got damaged, and they're gonna be at port anyways. So, like, why not? But you saw that. The game lied to me and said, oh, there's no design. And then when I clicked on it, they're like, oh yeah, we do actually have this design here. But, yeah, we just wanted you to make a new one. Alright, weirdo. Fucking... That's all of them. Look at that. Bam. 48 submarines. The huge fleet. Everything. They flipping overran them. That's funny. If I go up here, one of y'all go up around here. You're not allowed to move. You're dying. I don't know why y'all insist on moving. Stop it and just die, yeah? And gone. Oh, yep. Alright, there we go. What special? How many planes? Good enough for a flipping target, that's for sure. Yeah, you're not gonna be working it. Yeah, I figure. Oh. I think everything got bombed over here. Yeah, you can sit there. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What is the where is the US production at? Where's let's see. It goes in a ring like that. What can we probably southwest? Is there a lot of down here? No, it would be probably in the southwest. So let's grab that bomber. Let's get that southwest. Yeah. Y'all can actually go ahead and move down by a lot. Actually, as a matter of fact, what I really want to do get these radars up and running. They'll really help us in the region. 2 destroyers, nice. Another destroyer. Convoys. So if they're just losing destroyers, they're going to eventually not have enough destroyers to protect their battleships. And then from there, it's just open season. They're already running on the minimum amount they would need. So let's see. India. Little tiny openings. Just like that. That's all we really need. Just should have you go in those three. You can go with those two. Yeah. The front lines were back there. What are they doing up here? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. You're gone. Done for. Kaput. Here. Louisville. One more. Oh. The last two destroyers, I think, from Canada. Literally the last two destroyers. We know exactly what they are. Alright. They get no supply. Love it. Hmm. You threaten? Ranger? Ambusher? Jeez Louise. Jungle Rat, Winter Specialist. What do you guys have? Cavalry and Panzer. I love it. You can have both. I love it. Cavalry expert. And combined epics. Yep. What do I want to do next? Ooh. Well, if I bring up these guys, that'll save a load of trouble. Yeah, let's go through our planes. Berlin is here. We got a bunch of naval patrol bombers. Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of scout planes. And some air transports. Got some bombers. Love to see them. Some medium airframes. They're not doing so hot. I can tell. We got two of these. Yeah, we got nothing else to throw. Nothing that would actually help in the actual air war itself. That's alright. We can work with that. Are these good? No, they're not good yet. Man, when they gonna get good? 5 years from now? Probably only like 3 years from now, but still. Yeah. Yeah, I think it did work on one thing though. Pulling them off our butts. Oh, we lose more by accident than anything else. That is funny. And we're still bombing so many buildings just because they're really good bombers. 50s large airframes, yeah. Let's just see what our airframes look like right now. Yep. That'll do it. Bruh. We could upgrade the machine guns this entire time. Alright. We're gonna go through. After we research this new anti-air. Because that's gonna be actually really, really good. We're gonna get this new anti-air. Yeah, we can't actually research that. We might go ahead and get this rocket. It's not that worth it though. But we'll do it. We'll get it. We won't do the rocket. We'll probably go down the tanks because we have yet to actually update them. And there's about to be 1955. We still are on 1945. We need 1950 level tanks. And then we need to update the armor on those tanks. Yeah, we got a lot to do on tanks. We might. Instead of researching anything in the air. Now, these are still going to be a few hundred days. And by the time that gets done, they'll probably be 300 days. I can let them sit for a year, though, because they can have time to, you know, ripen up. Like flipping, what, oranges? I don't know. That works. Special aircraft. Oh my lord. Yo, this is brand new. No, we're gonna research helicopters. Forget everything else. We're researching helicopter after those new planes. We're researching helicopter for the planes. These are gonna research tanks. You guys are gonna work on more navy. You guys might help out with the army. Same with you. There's no reason to put you on anything else. Oh, well, computers and then homing systems. $800 days. Yeah, computers. Probably after computers would be early modern. To forget this, and then getting these. So they are going to be busy for about 600 days, and then that should get ready within 600 days. After that, this should be, one of these should be within reason. 600 days later. Probably not these. Maybe not. So they'll probably be able to help out, but that will be 2 years from now. By then, we'll be on whole different research. Alright. We do have a bunch ready. We could use a bunch for one more push. Let's see, what is they looking like? Like they're limping. still have manpower somehow. That's probably from all the exiled nations. Because exiled nations, you can do missions for, like, sabotage missions. And basically what they do is they go recruit for their respective nations. There's no tanks on this side right here. Oh, there are. There's just 2 tank divisions, though. That's annoying. Another nuclear power plant? How many nukes were they gonna have? I have to see. Do they have nukes? We barely dodge. They have nukes? They have nukes? Oh, loaded. They have nukes, but no strategic bombers. Or rockets. What type of fighters are they throwing at us right now? Basic fighters. With a lot of agility, though. It's a lot of agility. That's probably why we're dying so much, because they just have a bunch of agility. Would the Germans know that, though? That is a question. Would the Germans know that they have more agility than us? The Germans know this. Let me see. Would the Germans know this? Wait. Actually, you know what? Make sure that they can do that. We'll just put it on 15. What type of stuff do we have? We only have 63. Yeah, we don't have enough intel to know that. So we wouldn't design our fighters. We would still just try to make super planes instead of designing our fighters against our foes. Alright, still level 2 of everything there. We do now have flare pods and drogue parachutes. We do now have level 2 of these. It gives us a bunch more range. A bunch more range. Oh my goodness. Because they're jet fuel tanks. Yes, yeah, alright. Do we have any better missiles? Nope. They're just better heavy machine guns. Alright. So now this makes the machine guns still actually probably not better, if you think about it. Because these are heavier for 4 more air attack, whereas these still give you air defense, so they're not useless. And this only has 50 thrust. So after like 55, rocket engines become obsolete. So yeah, let's throw on some new airframes, some close air support. I didn't know they updated that. That's crazy. I would put on like drogue parachutes and stuff like that, but it wouldn't do anything. Realistically speaking, you would throw them on because they wouldn't do anything for the people in the plane. If this was like realistic, because I kind of like role playing it. And yeah, I want to make super planes, but they're not Why would we have infrared? They don't have infrared stuff. Why would we make infrared? They don't have missiles. You know? That's what flares are for. Do we have that? No. There's one that gives you like -30 night penalty, and you can get like 150 just from all of these. Still level 2. 6 air defense. I do kind of want to put a drogue parachute in this. But you can't. Alright. Well then. 45 small airframe E2. So what we're going to do, put level 3s in it. Let's see what else. We can afford, pretty sure, yes. Yes. Super heavyweight. However, super long range, bit more air attack. I like it. So we're going up against really agile planes. No air attack, really no air defense to speak of. But they have a lot of agility. So that's what's killing us. Because they're just able to move out the way if they get shot at, which is pretty cool. But it's not going to save them, to be fair. G-Unit. Let's see. 50s medium airframe. That's not a medium airframe. Well, it's never mind. You're going to want as much agility as you can have. I do really want to just take one of these, throw them into this so I can have a bit more agility. It's going to have 5 less air defense, 4 more air attack, and 3 more agility. It's probably worth it. Except it can't. Too heavy. That makes sense. Medium airframe. We have no new bombs at all. Do we? No, no new bombs. So you have no agility when you're close air support, but everything else you have fair agility on. Yeah, and there's only up to level 3. Alright. Good for you. Naval bomber. I think we already checked. When these get to, there's like 3, 4 levels of these. Level 2 is just when it gets really overpowered. You don't need torpedoes. And they finally outperform torpedoes. Boom. More range. Give me that. 50s maritime support patrol. Yeah, there's not really to do with that one. Large airframe. So we, oops. So we can just see. 12, 11 naval attack. Okay. We're about to just see what they can really do here. 162 strat bombing. on each plane. And this is our max, 162. That's pretty crazy. Interwar airframe. I might, just to keep them really agile. No, it's not worth it. Stop that. Oh, that's right. We'll see. Do you guys have level 6? No. Okay. Oh, that works. That works. Basic. Improved. Improved did not get the message. Well, here they go. More speed, more thrust, more range. Better improved. I'll look at it here in a minute. Advanced. Yeah, okay. Rather than having extra fuel tanks, rather have you have level 2 drop pods. Yeah. So improved. We already looked at both of those. Improved. There you go. So we got a lot to make. Let's ramp up our air production real quick. Let's go crazy on it. And like, go crazy. You're only having 5 factories put on these things? These are supposed to be backup planes. The fact that they're backup planes and they don't even have anything in backup, that's why they're getting updated. Usually they stay on 1 or 2. This is going up to 50. You usually lose efficiency after about 100, so it's not really worth it to do more than 100. You're better off actually just starting a new production line of them, believe it or not. Kind of crazy, but it's just true. A bunch of those. Main battle tanks. We have a bunch of modern battle tanks. Honestly, we can save on that entirely. Let's just see what that does though. One more day. We are breaking heavily into their lines. Yeah, you do that. I'm just trying pretty difficult. They're trying to do the impossible and hold us back. I don't think they realize what they need to do that. And that they just simply don't have the tools to do so. You guys move that way. All the way to Indianapolis. We're already there. There we go, 50's anti-air. We gotta update all of our ships. We gotta update tank. We're just gonna... Oh, wait. Before we do that, let's make sure these are up to date. Roughly speaking. I don't think we need any more piercing. We don't need these. That should be good. Yeah, we need just a better tank. And with this better tank comes, what is it called? Advanced optics. And then you have heat shells, which just give you piercing, which are really, really nice. Do these give you anything really good? Super heavy tank. Super heavy tank gun. Although that's not really worth it anymore because we do have the modern tank gun on this bad boy. Yeah, with this modern tank gun already having so much piercing, getting that super heavy tank gun is no longer worth it. Usually you'd research a super heavy tank just so you have an early super heavy piercing thing, but it's no longer really worth it. Let me see. Can I... Yeah, you're gonna stay there. You're like that for a reason. Can I convert all of these over to these? You can't. You can't. Advance. Is that it? I think it is. Then we take another one. We say, hey, we need actual AA. That should be good. So let's see. What can we do to our tanks? What do you got? Thermal vision, commander night vision. Alright. Commander night vision would just give you better stuff. And then you could have more breaking and piercing breakthrough. No, you don't need that. You already got that. Shield drone. We'll have to get rid of this because we don't have extra. So... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we have one. Remove that. We lose nothing but reliability. And I don't think that really matters right now. They're less reliable. Well, you can see better out of them. Or your commander now has night vision. Along with everybody else. Which now means that everybody's seeing in the dark. You can save on ammunition. Attack the enemy at night. Instead of wasting ammunition. Attack them while they're unprepared. So this is the main thing that needs to get updated. But let's see. You are the... Are you the small gun? Did I put the small gun on there? Please tell me I put the small gun on there. I did not put the small gun on there. I put the very big gun on there. Why would I do that? Because then you have this right here. Oh no, you don't put that on there because this is for piercing. Wait. This if you want a lot of piercing. We don't want piercing. We want a big boom. This thing is basically just like... This is not the right model. Where is it? Surely it's kind of like that. It is almost exactly like that. Oh man. It's basically this. That's what they are now. I love it. It used to be advanced slope armor. I forgot what happened to it. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, it's just a visual change. We don't make heavy tanks, but we probably should look into it. We don't make them. Oh, it upgraded it automatically for us. Way more piercing. Love to see it. A bit more soft attack. That's alright. Less breakthrough. That's sad. How much less? 3? I don't think we're missing that too much. With 12 more anti-air. That's what we like to see. Means everybody will now have a ridiculous amount of anti-air in their system. Yeah. Churn through all of those. That way we can actually start having more. And once we... Because these super tanks only use modern, right? Yeah, they only use modern. These guys get the most advanced versions. Tell because they have C, 110 of C. Whereas these guys, let's just compare them with the assault rifles. A Panzer division, they need 1,000. They have literally all but 50. As far as being German. These guys don't have all of their equipment even. Alright. But they all actually have assault rifles, so okay. Oh, these guys have a few old mechanized units. They both have full motorized. That's nice to see. Opel Blitz 2. They're using some American equipment. Alright. They like their flavoring. These guys are missing a light tank. That's probably not too bad. Let me see. Yep, most of these tanks that they're using are the B variant. The B variant. Whereas half of what they're using are B variant. They should be using double. Hold up. Wait. You got me messed up. Your templates. Oh, you use the same amount of tanks. That's what. You don't use as much support equipment. That's what it is. All right. Never mind. Rah. All right. So yeah, more than it's literally like 2/3 is of that brand new modern battle tank. Whereas these guys, half of their tanks are the old variant. And then some of them are relics of literally 1945. And then these guys are, some of them have the new tanks. They know what they look like. So let's see, anti-air. They barely, most of the unit hasn't even seen what the new modern anti-air tank looks like. Whereas these guys have all modern anti-air tanks. So you can start to see the differences there. So let's see. These guys have artillery tank B and artillery tank A, whereas these guys have A and C. So they both used A. I think B was a limited edition, so that's probably something special. But C, they don't even know what that is. Over here, it's pretty even as far as like they have even of all of these. They only have B and C. They don't even have old stuff. That's what that does. Does it have a huge effect? Not really. Does it mean that the people with better equipment perform better? Oh yeah, certainly. I'm gonna remove them from that front. I'm not too sure how many of them. I think only like 4 of both these, and then like 6 tanks. So we're going to grab 2 of you, 2 of you, then like 6 tanks. Six. That works. Let's put y'all up in the north. Actually, we can do this. And then we can make that. Here. We're gonna have all these tanks leaving. Yep. We're gonna try to see if we can get them assigned somewhere. Lower, higher. Where are you guys going? North? Goodness gracious. Hold on a minute. I just need you to focus on the United States. I don't need you to be all that extra. This line, I'm gonna make a nice big one right there. No. You go through here. You go down. You go over. You go through. You go up through there. You go there. You think you're gonna regain ground or something? Who y'all think you're going up against? Ah, shoot. Here we go. You don't have any oil. Good thing you do. Stay there. Crush them dry. Push them back. So y'all hold the line up there. We'll go ahead and we'll build y'all supplies, because I already know there's nothing going on with supplies. Yeah. Oh, looks like we got some radar up and going. Don't know what that means. The Air Force is about to be on point. Come on. All y'all join in on this. Let me see. They're closer to it. And they got way less now. Apparently they're churning out divisions or something. We are murking them, but they are churning them out. Because they now have manpower. Somehow. Mostly, from what I know, mostly from subversive activities. Ooh. So I think we've grounded most of their air force. And they're trying to rebuild their air force now. Because, no, down here. Damn it. Alright, let's see. Where are they not challenging us at? Definitely challenging us up here. It's fine. Oh, 300. Cancel. Alright, let's see. 200 is fine. 191. Come on down to Appalachia. That's fine. $23, $32, $30, $300. So again, they can't really take those types of losses. Not for long anyways. Not as they lose more and more military factories. We only have 54 using airplanes. We put 50 factories just on one type of airplane alone. So unless they're doing something like that, they're not going to be able to keep up with us. What I want to know is why they only got flipping 3 over here. Like, they think this is going to be a cakewalk or something? Or what they think this is? What do you think this is? Huh? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Nah. We got you all. We got you all, boy. Yeah, so our allies can cover this front for the most part. I'm not too worried about getting encircled or none of that business. Because the enemy themselves are just like trying not to get encircled. So we'll just keep it like that. We'll keep them waiting. Wondering, watching. Right now, what we're waiting for is these guys. Uruguay joins? Really? It's pretty soon they're gonna come in. No, we got a couple more. Yeah, they don't have supply. They don't have supply, it's easy money. go wherever we want and they don't have supply. Tennessee. Did we lose a soldier? No, I think they just pulled back. Take another trip. What's over here? There we go. Y'all guys specifically is gonna move down. The whole army is assigned to this order. Move aggressively. Begin when ready. That one's gone. There's no way they have. See, they're not losing divisions. They're not losing divisions. The divisions they're churning out, though, are green. So they can't really replace their special forces like that. I can tell you that much. You go ahead. Yeah. About to say. Go ahead. Move forward. They have no support up here. Here we go. It is done. Push up from the north. Push up from the south. Make it one of y'all. Push up like that. Push up like this. There you go. And we have been pushing hard, so supply lines are going to be a bit stretched. .55 small airframe. Some pretty scary stuff. I say instead of any of that, we go ahead into here. Because I just noticed again, we can't actually make any helicopters, and we built some helicopters. We built helicopters. They disappeared because we didn't build them right. This is interesting. This is real interesting. I'm excited. I want to know what type of helicopters I can build. Where's all my helicopters here? Where my helicopters at? Where's all my helicopters at? Mm-hmm. Hmm? Where my helicopters at? I'm just excited to see them. Can't wait. We got plenty of supply just about anywhere. They gonna try to push on through. Oh yeah. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. They're like, we were doing so good, and then a tank pulled up out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. Oh yeah. Push them right through. Come on. Push them out the south. No. Go to Birmingham. It's like, wasn't the enemy in front of us? Yeah, why? Why do I see tanks behind us? Tanks? What do they look like? They're Panzers? Can we get some assistance over here? The enemy's behind us. Yeah, I don't think so. They're gonna get that before us. Oh, where do you think you going? Yeah, that's one way. Break him out. Get there. Hurry up. $300. Let's see. Let's get as many as we can down here. Throw it in there. Any more on the East Coast? Not really. No. We still got people up here. Is there any enemies up here? No. Oh, it's because it's these guys. You can defend Appalachia. Appalachia. Go to the Gulf Coast. Where are you? You're in the Great Lakes. Is there any enemies in the Great Lakes even? Not really, no. I don't know what to do with y'all. There's a lot over here. There's a lot just trying to chill out on the East Coast. Nah, see. Go to the Gulf Coast now. You got 100 too many? Who's the big... Like, yeah, you're the flippin'. Go over there. Warrior? Go over there. There we go. Matter of fact, send a couple over there. Make it complicated for them. Crush them. Yeah. Nah. We got submarines. We're gonna save these for next time, by the way. Yeah. Got submarines for next time. What can we get? What can we get? What else can we get? We gonna have to update everything, because I still didn't update my boats. 196. Or we can finally get the converted missile heavies. These things are gonna be really important. They are gonna be your new battleships from this point on. If you ever decide to play this mod, by the way. Where do I need them? What are you guys doing? You guys still have a lot of planning in most places. Let me see. One half just run down here. The other half run down there. What's my Navy doing? Hey, y'all ain't gotta worry about all that anymore. Actually, go ahead, go after that stuff. Yeah, the Allies aren't doing so well. The Japanese ain't doing too well either. And Chuko's not doing well. Nobody lost any soldiers yet, surprisingly. Y'all still trying to give me soldiers like I need soldiers. $106, I love it. I don't have any need for most of these scout planes, so go ahead and take all those. What do I not need? Take some of these. And take all these. Take everything in stock, please. 50's large. We make some of those. What else do we have? We don't have any other scout plane? Bull. Okay, in that case, take our this, and then just have 200 of these. Let's have their manpower drained from this instead of mine. I don't know how many I actually sent on that one. So just take that. You can have these, I don't need them. Pass them around to somebody that does. I don't know. So they'll get spy planes, they'll help me spy everywhere instead of me trying to spy everywhere. That will actually give me a lot of just free stuff, really. I don't know what we're trying to do here. There's no big mega flippin' airports around here. Why? Need big mega flippin' airports. Honestly, I don't need that many flippin' fighters over here. We can just drop a bunch of these off somewhere. And we can send these 3 back to, yeah, down here. Ooh, actually send them up here. And then they can guard, like, over here or something, I don't know. Madagascar? What are y'all doing in Madagascar? Get over here. You're mystical flippin' Series A. Series A, what we're producing right now? It's what we were producing a while ago. Never mind. Like, that's last year's stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was quick. How far can we reach with nukes? And how much do we actually own the airspace? Oh, we can nuke the Gulf Coast. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, this is gonna be gnarly. All of it, I don't care. I'm tired of dealing with them. Watch this. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Oh yeah. Force over here. Dang, they got pushed out of Havana, really? Spain, you're losing a lot of men, man. I know you're like fervorous and everything, but you are losing a lot. I need you to just kind of hold the line a bit with Romania. Where did Romania go? Did everybody leave? Everybody's leaving somewhere else. Why? Where are y'all going? The fight's over here. Probably out here to cover for this mess. Yeah. Did they rebuild planes while I was not paying attention? I think so. I think so indeed. Let's show them what we think about that. Why can we not drop a nuclear bomb there? We need to drop more nukes. This is what we need the Air Force for. Indeed. We more power in the region. Sure, let's see what this arrangement looks like. Honestly, get rid of you with 2 planes. I don't think that's a good idea to just throw them back down here. Throw someone up here. There you go. Now what do y'all think? Now what do y'all think? Y'all gonna try to steal Luke's in? How close are they to flipping getting out? Not that close. Let's see how they take a nuke. I think we accidentally nuked our own men. How close are they? A lot closer. I like that. I like that a lot. Does anything over here actually give us any flipping victory points? Imagine pushing a tank division with trucks. It'd be a pretty sad tank division, eh? I think not. There we go. Yeah, I think they kind of get the idea. We no longer need to worry about Mongolia. That's for our allies to worry about. I don't get how these guys are still trying to resist up here. There's nothing to even defend. How do they have soldiers up here? Part of me just kind of says F it, but I want to go to... Think you gonna have a fleet? Or a port? Excuse me? In my presence? I think not. I think not. Sung Kyung? Get it? Go to Busan. Honestly, there's not a lot here. There is some stuff coming out the woodworks from the look of it. I'm a little scared of just getting random flipping encirclement, but you know, you really need to be scared of these guys. We got a helicopter engine 1, double blades, helicopter armor. Helicopter anti-tank? Angetreten. We're gonna occupy Korea. We're gonna hand the rest of Manchukuo probably over to our allies instead of trying to do this ourselves. Because Manchukuo's not doing so hot. They're they don't even have that many divisions left. E-50 chassis. We got new tanks. We got new boats. New planes that need to be coming in. Actually, the smart thing to do would be not to research this, but then to research. Dang, no, never mind. Never mind for that. Ooh. So yeah, would be to research down here. I think they're ready for this to be over. I think they're ready for this to be over. Okay, nah. They're still defending. They're still trying to hold on. I don't understand. There's nothing. There's no supply here. There's no supply here. All their supply is coming in through this port. I was about to say how many bombers, how many of whatever's in there will destroy it. They not okay. I was about to say, are they not close yet? Personally, I don't care about up there. Those 30, 40 some odd divisions can stay up there because I want the entire army. What port is this? Then we gonna go straight around Osaka. That's what we gonna do. In order to do that, we gotta capture the port. Everybody get there. So yeah, our allies can basically deal with that because they now have almost no support through there. Now that's another 84 days, so we'll start off the next video with this invasion and a bunch of designing. And I mean a bunch. Because we have a bunch of things we just have to use. Are we able to do? No. Nice. 23. I'm actually going to do something kind of stingy. trying to give me soldiers. You're crazy. Look at them. Look at them. They'll get it. They got it. I don't need to do nothing about it. Look at that. Mongolia capitulated. Reduces their space to like half. Reduces the fight of everybody here to almost nothing. Why are y'all struggling? Yeah, that's right. So, personally, I want, and I want them now, not later. Oh, chances are they're being worked on right now. It's a lot of stuff. No, they're not being worked on. That all needs to be worked on. Why is... Oh, it is still a lot. I'm just... Okay. So, let's see. All those planes and everything. What was that? Oh, more urban projection. Yup. 18. How many? Who's over here? Because I know I got rid of a bunch of them. There's nothing they can do. Oh, we got them all. Yep. Filled them all up. We have only a couple. We now have a bunch of interwar small fighters. We have some cast, not a lot. A few unicorns as well. That's nice. Let's see. Oh yeah. Mongolian and the Mongolian pocket. Oh yes. The Siberian pocket. Yes, yes. And then probably just the cannon, right? Dang, man. I can't actually see it. Oh no. Somewhere down here. That's unfortunate. Oh no. Hold on real quick. I don't think we can. I think we gotta research one of these. That means all this is useless until we can get the airframe. Man. Is that a helicopter? Man. Man. Y'all can train while y'all here. That way y'all still effective when you get there. Let me see how many enemies we got. Let's go. I forgot there is a connection. There is a land connection to some of China, not a lot of it, or Japan. But, yeah. In a couple days, some of these will actually be prepared. Let me see here. How many more days? 59. Alright. Let's start off with an invasion of Japan. Oh yeah, that's right. Should totally build some of those. Let me see. So now let's see. What the planes looking like? You got what? 10 planes? 21 planes? Radar? Nice. Two of these. Look at all these. They look like good planes. Throw them up there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. what I like to see. All those buildings get flattened. Back to the Stone Age with you. So, if I'm not mistaken, this you can stop training right now because most people are good. Most people are good. Stop it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Give them some time so they can recover and recuperate. What the flip? Okay. Oh, that's for land. Now we have flipping sloped armor. Sloped armor. That is actually really good. It's no longer just 30%. It is, let me see. Oh, it's no longer 10%? Hold on. If I go to attack, say, hey, I want sloped armor. Okay, yeah, it only gets 20% for 10% production costs. Let's see. Alright. They're all set. They're all ready to go. Let's go ahead. Assign these divisions. Don't need assign. Save the game. And I will see you guys next time.